In this video, I'll be sharing every print-on-demand website that you can get free traffic from. All these websites have thousands, even millions of visitors every month, and many of them also pay for advertising on behalf of sellers. So it is technically possible to make money just by creating an account and uploading. No need to promote on social media, no paid ads or influencers required. Now, I've personally sold on some of these sites before myself and still make money on them, so I'll be sharing my own experience where relevant, and I can guarantee there'll be many websites that you've never heard of before on this ultimate list, and a lot that I've never mentioned before on my channel either. I've also removed websites that were mentioned in my previous videos but are no longer good to sell on. But for each of these sites, I'll be showing you how much traffic they get per month, what kinds of products they offer and what sells well typically, any useful discussion points. Obviously, it's going to be a crazy long video, we won't have time to go through everything, but I'll just be talking about what I think of it and things that I would want to know if I were to try start selling on it, and how to get started selling on it today. Make sure to fill in the Google form down below if you have any video idea suggestions or feedback. I do read the comments, obviously, but things in here take priority. Let's get started. Now, the first website is Amazon, which I've been selling on for a while. You've probably heard of Amazon merch, but there's actually 3 different ways to sell print on demand on Amazon. First method is the one I use, which is through listing POD products on Amazon Seller Central. So just like any other Amazon seller selling electronics, supplements, stuff like that. So you are mixed in with everybody else. And you sell pretty much any POD products using a production partner like Printify or Printful. That's what I do. I use both actually. So as you can see, the orders as well as the addresses are imported, and it just makes life a lot easier for me. And these are merchant fulfilled products, so FBM, but if you want, you can convert them to FBA and then bulk ship items to an Amazon warehouse if something's selling particularly well for you and reduce your costs. Now, I do have a full tutorial on my channel and other videos about Amazon selling if you're interested, but essentially all I do is I just list products with relevant keywords. I don't advertise at all, and I make sales pretty much every day just doing that. So it is possible, and you can sell on all the different domains like amazon.com, .co.uk, .mx, and so on, but you have to apply for each one individually. Currently, I only sell on amazon.com. Now, the second method is via Amazon Merch on Demand, or AMOD, which most people still know as the old name, which is Merch by Amazon. And this is a separate program that you have to apply for. So here you're not selling via Seller Central, but through a separate portal, and all of the products are mixed together once they're uploaded from the customer's perspective. They're all listed on amazon.com or the other regional domain extensions with the products from Seller Central sellers. They look a little bit different, but they're all in there together. Now, if you can get an account for AMOD, it's fantastic because unlike Seller Central, it's completely free. You get prime shipping on your products. You don't have to worry about inventory, and I know people have made a lot of money with this. You also don't have to pay a professional selling fee of about $25 a month, but it is very oversubscribed and it's competitive. Even if you get in, it's still competitive. And personally, I've tried 5 times to apply, but I have been unable to get an account. I've been told that location probably has something to do with it. So I'm from the UK, if you couldn't tell. And people from the USA generally have an easier time getting accepted from what I've heard. So it's really hit or miss, whereas almost everyone should be able to get a Seller Central account. So I'd recommend trying to apply for this a few times, but if you get rejected like me, I wouldn't fret over it at all. And the final method is Amazon KDP, which stands for Kindle Direct Publishing. And this lets you design books. And once you submit them, they will print your book on demand and then ship it to the customer on your behalf, hence print on demand. You can sell ebooks, paperback, hardcover books. Now, the way that people sell a lot of these books without having to basically write entire novels is something called low content books, which could be journals, notebooks, activity books, and they just design the cover and the interior, and then they repeat that for different niches. So you might have like a gratitude journal, a medical journal, ADHD journal, and so on, right? So you can upload a lot of these really fast and you can get your traffic with the SEO, blah, blah, you know the rest. People have been doing this for a while, since a lot of years ago. It's gotten pretty competitive nowadays, but there are tools out there that help you find gaps in the market with keyword research. There's always new ideas that you can come up with. But if I'm being realistic, it is one of those where you'll probably have to upload hundreds of books before you start making any significant money. But on the upside, it's completely free to upload, just like Amod. Now, Amazon is competitive, but it gets a lot of traffic. So it is the world's biggest marketplace. It's got 2.6 billion visits per month as of May this year. And it's number one in all of e-commerce. So yes, there's a lot of sellers with all three methods, but I think it's well worth a shot. At least maybe try and apply for Amod, see if you can get in. If not, then Seller Central is a good way to access and take advantage of Amazon's massive customer base. Personally, I actually prefer Seller Central from what I've seen about Amod. I think it gives you more control and more branding abilities anyway. It's a better way to build a brand. To start selling through Seller Central, go to sell.amazon.com or .co.uk if you want to sell in the UK, for example. Make sure the domain extension is the right one for the market that you want, and then click on sign up. And this sign up process can be a bit annoying. But just to remind you, I do have an entire video dedicated to this process, which I'll link in the description. But keep in mind, ideally you should have a limited company or an LLC before you start. It's not compulsory, but realistically, you know, if you want brand approval, registration, generally have an easier time selling on here, you should. But yeah, more details are in that video. To apply for an Amod account, go to merch.amazon.com and then click sign up, which should take you to the application page after you log in with your Amazon account. And start selling on KDP, go to kdp.amazon.com and then click on join KDP. Next up is eBay. And like with Amazon Seller Central, you can pretty much sell any POD products on here using a production partner like Printify or Printful. It's a general marketplace. And Printify integrates with eBay, so that should be quite an easy process to import your orders. So a lot of people selling all sorts of POD products like shirts, mugs, canvases, and other stuff. And you can now list a set amount of items each month on eBay for completely free. So for the UK, it's about 300 items per month. And for ebay.com, it's 250 free listings per month. Now, ebay.com got about 620 million estimated visits last month, but there are other domain extensions that you can sell on, like ebay.co.uk and so on. Now, in terms of my experience, I have talked about this before, but basically I tried to apply for a eBay business account on here and I just got suspended immediately. It could have been something to do with my registered business address being shared by other companies. I haven't applied since then. I may or may not do so again in the future. I mean, obviously, if I find success with that, I'll update you. If you're concerned about a similar problem, you can start by just listing on a personal account. So I do think it's worth the time trying to get an account on here because there's plenty of people doing well with print-on-demand-esque type products. So to start listing items, go to ebay.com/sl/sell and then click on list an item. Next up, we have Etsy. I've been selling on here for years now. Had a lot of ups and a lot of downs. But it's been a few years and somehow I'm still here. Again, I make sales every day on Etsy. Despite its problems and changes over the years, you know, with a new leadership internally and everything, it's gotten more competitive as well, but I do think Etsy is still a good place to try and sell POD if you can get an account, because I mean, people are literally looking for these types of products on Etsy. And you can use a production partner like Printify or Printful, both of which I use, and integrate with Etsy. So yeah, it just imports all my orders and addresses and I can select a product. Makes it very easy to fulfill the orders. Etsy brings me relatively consistent traffic and it can get pretty high in Q4, so I definitely recommend trying it out if you can get an account on here. Now you can definitely sell most POD products available, like shirts, drinkware, canvases, home decor, because they all fall under the creative goods label. But don't start selling things like supplements and beauty products. I know the POD selection is getting a bit exotic nowadays, which isn't a bad thing, but obviously just always stick to what's allowed under the creative policy and you should be able to find the full list under the Etsy house rules. It gets 390.6 million visitors per month, mostly female customer base, so about 70% or more are female. Keep that in mind for the types of designs that are likely to do well on here. Now, because it's a marketplace for gifts, mostly traffic tends to explode in Q4, and it's actually pretty low for this time of year. So unlike Amazon and eBay, there is only one domain extension, which is etsy.com. So the traffic, what you see here is what you get, no extra hidden traffic, but a lot of international buyers do go to etsy.com. So personally, I've sold to Japan, I've sold to Australia, Dubai, so customers from all worldwide shopping on etsy.com. Etsy has undergone a lot of changes since I started selling on it, and the main thing to be aware of is that it used to be free to sign up, but they've introduced this new $15 one-time fee. A lot of spammers started flooding in during the pandemic, so that is a big reason why. But on the upside, not everyone wants to pay. So going on forwards, it should be less competition than would be if it was still free. It is 20 cents per listing still, but if you sign up to a new shop using my link down below, you can get 40 free listings. So you get 40, I get 40. Consider using that if you want. Now, there's definitely more pros and cons of Etsy. I could talk about this for hours, but I'm not going to hammer on about it because I've made so many videos on my channel now. Just check out my channel if you want more information on Etsy. Next up is Redbubble. Obviously, if you look at my channel, I have some history with this website. It was actually my first print-on-demand website, and I used to upload on it every day, a lot back in the day, although I stopped eventually to move on to other platforms and focus on my brand a bit more. And like Etsy, Redbubble's gone through a lot of changes throughout the years. They introduced this tier system because too many new sellers were coming in around the pandemic. Again, I won't harp on about this one too much because I have loads of videos on it already. And if you're interested, you can watch some of the older videos on my channel where I talk about how I grew Redbubble stores, as well as a video about why I stopped uploading to Redbubble. Doesn't mean you have to, but it may be interesting to know my reasoning for it, I guess. So basically how it works, you upload one design and then they put it on over 70 different products, mostly the standard POD products like t-shirts, phone cases. And the cool thing about it is that it creates loads of product pages at a time that just get thrown into the Google search engine. It's a very Gen Z heavy customer base still. So, you know, the whole Visco girl, Tumblr girl era that was trending, that's the vibe it gives off. But yeah, stickers is what most people come here for. That's about 50% of what I most commonly sell. But other stuff does sell for me, like t-shirts, even things like duvet covers and baby products also sell as well. And those things get you much higher profit margins. Now, this is the biggest specialist sell your art website with 17 million visitors per month. So to start uploading on Redbubble, go to redbubble.com and click on sell your art. Next up is TeePublic, which is another one that I've sold on and stopped uploading to in favor of building a brand. I haven't uploaded on here in years, but you can get a pretty good run of sales if you upload enough. Now, just to be aware, your designs might not show up in the marketplace if they aren't curated by the platform, but you can still get traffic via Google search, which is how I made sales. But obviously there's better ways to get traffic via Google. Very similar to Redbubble in style, but with less products and less traffic and less sellers. They're just owned by Redbubble. They got acquired a few years ago. Got about a dozen products that you can sell on, so obviously not as many as Redbubble, but the upload process is a lot easier. You can bulk upload. They get 6.7 million visits per month, so about a third of the Redbubble's traffic, and mostly from the US. I won't go on about this one because I do have very old videos on my channel about this. To start selling, go to teepublic.com and then click on create an account, and you can sign up as an artist and start uploading. Before we move on to the next website, I wanted to take a moment to tell you why I switched from Canva to Kittle as my main print-on-demand design tool. Kittle is a design tool specifically with print-on-demand sellers in mind. Its highly customizable templates, along with its graphics and AI generator, make designing extremely easy, whether you're a beginner or have some experience. On top of that, Kittle's design style and elements are a lot more tailored for popular t-shirt design trends, which also translate well to other products. Kittle is laser focused on meeting the needs of print-on-demand creators and commercial merchandise sellers. Plus, it's a web-based tool, so no downloads are required. Kittle has very clear and transparent business licensing, so you can confidently use edited templates or AI-generated images for commercial purposes. In contrast, Canva has faced concerns about the origins and licensing of some of its graphics, which can leave you unsure if they're fully safe for commercial use. Kittle completely eliminates this worry, making it my go-to platform. If you want to try it out today, there's a free plan to explore the platform before committing. And for 25% off your first month or year off a pro or expert plan, use the link in my description and enter code TIAYT, that's TIAYT, at checkout to claim your discount. Big thanks to Kittle for sponsoring this video. Next up is Walmart, and I first heard about this from Ryan, who sells on Walmart. We did a collab back a while ago. That video is somewhere on my channel. The amount of competition for print on demand was very low for the amount of traffic that it gets, so it's definitely one to keep in mind. You can sell on it if you're from the US or other countries, but you will need an EIN number. So again, like Amazon and eBay or Etsy, you can sell pretty much any POD products here with the standard providers. Printify used to integrate with Walmart, but not anymore, so you will have to dropship by hand. I know Printful and some other providers still integrate with Walmart, so you can use those if that's really an issue for you. They currently let you access 4 markets, which are the US, Canada, Mexico, and Chile, and it's completely free to sign up. You just pay a fee on your sales, unlike Amazon Seller Central, where there is a monthly selling fee. And this is definitely one to consider if you're having trouble with an Etsy or Amazon account, as is the case too often. They get even more traffic than Etsy, over 470 million visits per month, and the competition for print on demand on there is still pretty small compared to Etsy, so good time to get in early. To apply to sell on Walmart, go to marketplace.walmart.com and then click on join marketplace. You don't necessarily need an LTD or LLC, but it would be very helpful, especially for getting that EIN. That is something to consider as well before signing up. Next up is Zazzle, which is mostly known for wedding and party gifts and also custom products. They do sell a lot of different categories of products that you can upload to. That includes apparel, accessories, and home decor as well. Now they do have different domain extensions, so zazzle.co.uk and so on, but zazzle.com is the one that's most commonly visited. You get 6.5 million visits per month, which is pretty good. It's about the same as TeePublic, and it's like a third of Redbubble. Start selling on here, go to zazzle.com and then click sell on Zazzle in the top right. Next up is Displate, which is known for selling print-on-demand metal posters and wall art. That's the only thing they sell, no apparel or anything like that, so take that into account for the types of designs that you create. And like Redbubble, they've also partnered with brands, which is pretty cool. So people sell various designs, mostly artsy, full page designs, and when customers order, they're printed onto a metal poster. It's got around 4 million visits last month. Start selling, go to displate.com, open-shop, and you should be able to register for an account. There's no application process or anything like that required, and then you can just upload your artwork. But do make sure it fits these specs, otherwise it might get rejected. Next is Spreadshirt, obviously known for t-shirts, but as you can see here, they let you sell home decor and most of the other common POD products, mostly apparel, and as you can see, the vintage or retro stuff is what commonly sells best on here. So 877k visitors on the .com site, but they do have other extensions. So the .co.uk site does get reasonably significant hits, 162k per month, and they do have an Australian and European sites as well. So if you add it all up, it gets you to about just over 1 million visits per month across their sites. So to start selling, go to spreadshirt.com or whichever extension you want to sell on and click on start selling. Next is Design by Humans, which is mostly known for apparel. And like Redbubble and Displate, they are licensed to sell from various franchises. So that is a massive perk. It's mostly got apparel and accessories and also art that you can sell on here. They do have cups and bottles, but it's not incredibly extensive for home and kitchen category, so keep that in mind if you're selling those. Roughly 155k visits per month. And this is one where you do have to apply and then get accepted, which some people can find annoying, but it does mean less competition than the other sites if you do get accepted. So to apply, go to designbyhumans.com/store-signup/artist and then enter your portfolio. Now, next up is an interesting one, which is Google free shopping listings. Now, I'm not talking about this section up here, which are the Google Ads sponsored search results that you have to pay for, but the results underneath that, which anyone can gain access to just by having your own website. As I'm sure you know, google.com is a huge website, gets 84 billion visits per month, and it's ranked number 1 globally. Obviously, most of that traffic goes to the search engine and not the shopping tab. But even if just a small fraction of that, like 0.1% goes onto the shopping tab, that is still a lot of people. And the way you can get your free listings to show up in the Google shopping tab is to sign up to Google Merchant Center and then connect your store and turn on free listings. So the way I did this was via the Google Shopify integration on my Shopify store. But you should be able to do this with other, if you're using WooCommerce. But if you are using Shopify, then when you upload a product, you'll get this. And you just turn on the Google YouTube sales channel and make sure you're registered with Google Merchant Center, obviously. As you can see, I've made a few sales from Google Shopping specifically. These here are some that I could find last year from my Shopify. Obviously, it's not loads. I mean, let's be realistic here. This is a free traffic source. I still think it's cool to know that you can just set up a website, upload into a void, and then turn on free listings in the Merchant Center and have your product seen. Also, don't ask me why it says CPC, because I definitely didn't spend any money on Google Ads. I mean, the only possibility of getting sales from Google Shopping for me was free listings. Next up is shop.app, which is like Shopify's secret marketplace that still not many sellers know about, even though it gets a lot of traffic. And it basically just merges different products from Shopify stores into a single marketplace that customers who want branded products specifically can browse. So yeah, you can search and shop on it just like any other marketplace really. Now, if you've seen one of my previous videos, you may remember that I personally hadn't got any sales from the shop app in my Shopify store. I'm pleased to let you know that since then, as you can see, I have made a couple of sales that came from the shop channel, which is pretty awesome. Again, it's not that many sales, but there's only so much you can expect from organic traffic, right? So it's still pretty cool, I think, that you can upload stuff to Shopify and just get sales from this kind of secret marketplace without any advertising. And the app is very popular, has 10 million downloads. The website itself gets about half the visitors of Etsy, which is very impressive, especially for how few people mention this, and most customers from the United States, obviously. Again, you can access this via having a Shopify store. I think you do have to have a Shopify store with this one, and then turning on the shop sales channel on your products when you upload them. Next up is Spoonflower, which is a marketplace that sells fabrics, wallpaper, home decor, stuff like that with patterns on them by independent designers. Now, they did used to make you order physical proofs before you could sell on here, but now they do digital proofs. So I believe that shouldn't be an issue for people anymore. So customers shop for seamless repeating patterns and they can buy them on all sorts of products. It's actually very easy to create these types of patterns. You can do it for free with Photopea or Photoshop using the pattern preview mode. I know this is extremely ugly what I've created here, but just to demonstrate, let me know if you want a more detailed video on patterns, because they have actually been selling well for me on Etsy recently. They're just so versatile. Like once you create one, you can just put it on so many different products. So it's very good for POD. Speaking of Etsy, they are also one of the top sellers on Etsy. I suspect what they do is they just take sellers' uploads and they put them on here as well. So if we search them up on eHunt, we can see what types of patterns get the most sale. So interestingly, swear word patterns are actually selling for them at the moment. So there you go. That's one way to research what sells on here. 1.8 million visits per month and a very strong Instagram presence, 546k followers, so they're very active on here, running a decent number of Meta ads. They have about the same number of followers on Meta as they do on Instagram. So to start selling on here, go to spoonflower.com, register/new. You can get an account and start uploading. Next up is Bonanza, which is an eBay-like marketplace with all sorts of stuff, including print-on-demand style products. So as you can see, still not many POD sellers on here, not very saturated at all. And I think this is a good Etsy or eBay alternative because, well, for starters, they're completely free and they seem to treat sellers a lot better. It says here they're ranked first for communication, so I should hope none of that suspending your account and then not telling you what's going on type of stuff that Etsy and eBay are known for. But if you have sold on here, let me know how the seller service experience was in the comments. 1.3 million visits per month. And the cool thing here is you can import items if you're selling from one of these other more popular sales channels. So I think the best thing here would be to upload whatever you need to on your Shopify or Etsy store, and then maybe just take a day to download a CSV and then import it here. And there you go. Lots of free traffic for basically no work. That's definitely on my to-do list. So just an idea of how you could go about selling on here. Next up is Store Envy, which is a social commerce platform for indie brands that pretty much sells everything, including gifts and POD type stuff. So a lot of different categories that you can sell on here. Very similar to Bonanza, but just with less traffic, I guess, and a lot less competition as well. And there's people doing well on here, getting quite a lot of engagement selling the POD type stuff. So really not much competition at the moment. Favorites are really big on here, so if your items get favorited a lot, it should get boosted higher in search. Get just over 500,000 visits per month. So to start selling on here, go to storemb.com and click on open a store. Next up is Thoughtful, spelt Thort, and this is a UK-based print-on-demand card company. It's a very good Trustpilot rating, and you don't have to be from the UK to sell on here. You just need a PayPal account, even though pretty much all their buyers will be UK customers. And they mostly sell cards on here, which independent sellers can design. So it's completely free to upload. Anybody can open an account, and they make payments straight into your PayPal from the last month's earnings. They get 806k visitors per month, which doesn't sound like a lot at first, but remember they're only UK based. So there's a lot less competition and not many people know about this. I mean, sellers, and UK only has 60 million people anyway, so almost 1 million per month is pretty damn good, to be honest. Quite a strong Instagram following, so 153k. They're very active on here. They're also strong on Facebook, so running a good number of meta ads, getting traffic to their sellers. To get started selling, go to thoughtful.com/create/creators and then click on Get Started under Become a Creator. Next up is Luca's Gift, which is a small but up-and-coming Etsy alternative. It's very similar to Etsy in the types of stuff that sells on here, and you can sell all sorts of print-on-demand gifts, personalized items on this marketplace with a fulfillment provider. Obviously it won't integrate, but you can just manually dropship anything really, but personalized stuff does seem to do best. They're a pretty small marketplace, so 17.4k visitors per month. I imagine mostly organic because they don't have much of a social media presence. Now, this is actually the website with the least traffic on this list. So yeah, traffic could be stronger, a lot of room for growth, and really not many sellers for the popular POD products. So basically no competition at the moment. So to start selling on here, go to lucasgift.com/pages/become -a-seller and then click on join now. You can sign up for free as a seller, and it's completely free to list items. There is a 20% commission per sale. Next is T-Fury, which is obviously known for t-shirts. So these kinds of vector graphic, fun, text-based, sometimes style designs sell best on here. It is good for text-based designs. Another Redbubble/TeePublic alternative, pretty standard POD site. So this is what they have in their catalog for apparel. Gets about 200k visits per month for traffic. Could be better, but also not the worst considering the pretty low competition. They don't have many Instagram followers, but they're pretty strong on the Facebook organic. So they are running meta ads and over 600k on their Facebook page. So very strong on the Facebook organic. So to start selling, go to tfury.com/pages/artists, click on create a profile to get started. Next we have Fair, which is slightly different to all the other sites on this list. So this is a marketplace for wholesale retailers, so local brick and mortar businesses, the business owners who want to stock their shelves. I was first introduced to this site by Ryan, who said that his fiance was doing well selling on here. Again, if you want more on that, you can watch our collab. I'll link it in the description. Yeah, as you can see, there's a lot of POD style products, novelty products that retail store owners can buy in bulk. So it's always nice to get an order of multiple, 10, 20 products at a time. And you can choose your own minimum order quantity. So a lot of the same big name sellers that you'll find on Etsy and Amazon, you can spot on here as well. And with providers like Printify, you can save quite a lot on bulk orders. So if you order something at a slightly lower price and then people buy like 50 at a time, you could still save a lot of money. Make sure to check your minimum order quantity that qualifies you for this discount and then match it to your listing on Fair. Otherwise you could lose a lot of money. So yeah, just remember to do maths. 5.2 million visitors per month, 882k Instagram followers, so good engagement as well on their posts. They're running a lot of meta ads. Always good to see. So start selling, go to fair.com and then click on sell on Fair in the top right. Next up is Fine Art America, which is known for wall arts and prints, but they also sell home decor and apparel. So here are some of the wall art products that you can sell, as well as the other products in their catalog. Almost 3 million visits per month, and they have quite a strong Instagram following, so a lot of their traffic does come from here. They're 331k followers. Start selling, go to fineartamerica.com/sell sell-art-online, and you can start with a free account, although it does say here upgrade to premium. You don't have to do that. You can just to get exposure. Next up, we have Cafe Press, which is definitely, I think it is the oldest print-on-demand website on this list. It's founded in 1999. So that is always a bonus for ranking in search engines, at least in theory. So they're best known for t-shirts, but they sell a very wide range of apparel, home decor, stationery, all sorts of stuff. 624k visits per month. You could argue that they should be getting more for how long they've been around, but it is what it is. So they are strong on Facebook, they're running Meta ads, and they have amassed quite a lot of followers. Obviously you get those automatically if you've been running ads for a long time, but still good organic traffic. Not as strong on Instagram, but this Facebook is pretty strong here. So to start selling on here, go to cafepress.com and then click on sell on Cafe Press to sign up. Next up is Threadless. So yeah, they pretty much sell everything. I remember this was like the go-to Redbubble and TeePublic alternative that everyone would mention on online forums when people started hating on those two websites. Pretty decent POD site, mostly fun designs that sell well on here. Stuff that does well on Redbubble will probably do well here too. This is the range of apparel items they have, just to give you an idea. And if we sort by popular, we can see sort of vector, I know we call like transparent background graphic type stuff sells best on here. About 1 million visits per month and 406k Instagram followers where they post very regularly, and they are running a decent number of paid Meta ads as well. So it's really the one to go for if you don't want to sell on Redbubble and TeePublic. It's very similar vibes here. So start selling, go to threadless.com and click on sell your art in the top right. Next up is Bonfire, which is known for t-shirts. It is one of those crowdfunding websites. It's kind of like what the old Teespring used to be before it got rebranded, but it does have an explore section where customers can shop as well. So these are the types of products that you can sell on the Bonfire marketplace. About 1.2 million visitors per month. Just to be real with you, this is one of those websites that is going to lean more towards having a larger proportion of these people being sellers looking for some kind of fundraising or supplier rather than buyers, but a proportion of them will be browsing for designs in the explore section. So 48k Instagram followers, and they are running Meta ads on behalf of their sellers, so always good to see. Start selling, go to bonfire.com and click on sell online, and then you can create a campaign or a merch store. Next we have Viral Style, which is mostly known for selling t-shirts with these funny text-based designs. Another crowdfunding style of website. They do have some very unique products that you can design, so different types of jewelry. You get 400k visits per month and likely mostly organic because I checked, they don't have much of an Instagram or Facebook presence. So to sell on here, go to viralstyle.com and then click on start selling. Next is Busted Tees, which is a US based print on demand company that focuses on t-shirts obviously and hats and stickers. So yeah, your standard t-shirt focused website. You've got graphics and text-based designs that work best on here. 22k visits per month, not the strongest for traffic, but then again, there's not much competition and the best sellers are very generic. So, you know, cat stuff, clearly making sales from the reviews. And, you know, if you want to upload like cat designs on Redbubble, you're not going to make any sales, but maybe here you will because of the less competition. So you might not have to upload as much to make sales on here as for other websites. To start selling on here, go to bustedtees.com and then scroll to the bottom and click on artist login. And you can sign up for a shop for completely free. You can submit your art with the uploader here and they actually tell you what kinds of designs they're looking for. So it's a good way to identify any trends. Next up is Poshmark, which is a fashion and accessories marketplace. Now I put this one on here because it has a lot of free traffic, which is hard to ignore. You'll see how much just in a bit. I think the most important thing to bring up before I talk about that is that you have to use their provided shipping labels and you can't do that with drop shipping. So you're probably like, why do you even put it on the list then? So let me explain. Now, firstly, I promise this is the only website on the list where you need to buy beforehand in order to be able to sell, you know, either to your house or 3PL, but I think it does deserve a mention because it is one of those reseller marketplaces that people often lump in with Vinted, Depop, those kinds of websites. Those other websites, they sort of explicitly ban drop shipping. They discourage people from running a business, in which case you shouldn't, because there's so many other websites that you can sell on without breaking terms of service, trying to go against the system as shown by this entire list. But Poshmark doesn't mention anything like that in the seller rules, and it does stand out because I was able to find a lot of products like these that you can sell with POD that are actually doing well. Whereas on those other types of websites, it's mostly secondhand designer stuff that sells best. You're not really allowed to run a business, and POD doesn't even sell well there. So people definitely running businesses on here, and I know a lot of my audience are Etsy sellers who do have the means to produce handmade things themselves. Even if not, you can still take POD products that are proven selling well for you on other websites and then order some bulk to your house or 3PL and then ship with Poshmark shipping labels. And the reason I'm going on about this, even though it seems like a lot of effort, is because they get quite a lot of traffic. So it's a reasonable fraction of what Etsy gets, and they're definitely less competitive for POD type products compared to Etsy. So if you're willing to put extra effort in, actually get your hands on the product somehow, then this is a good place to list them. But as I said, this is the only website on the list that's like this, so if not, just keep it in the back of your mind. They post very regularly on Instagram. They have 1.2 million followers, and they are running a lot of meta ads for their sellers. So to start selling, go to poshmark.com and then sign in with your social account. Next up is QWERTY, who are known for fun t-shirts. They also sell stickers and prints. Very good Trustpilot rating, which is always great to see. Gets about 1 million visitors per month, and Facebook or Meta is their main traffic source, both organic and paid. They have quite an engaged community, so they often do these types of giveaways and participation type activities which get pretty good engagement, and they're running a lot of meta ads, bringing traffic to their designers. 197k followers on Instagram with pretty good engagement. As you can see here, they post some random meaningless picture, they get 400 likes, so that's always a good sign. And the way this works is a bit different from other POD sites. So first, to sign up, you go to QWERTY.com, scroll down and click on submit your design, and then you can submit a design here, and then they curate all the designs that are submitted to them and they select some to sell. So if your design is selected, they pay you just over $1 per sale for that design. I mean, I put it on here because you can make money, you can get free traffic. Yes, it is possible. They do also have a large following, but realistically, just consider whether it's worth your time. There's definitely other sites on here that I would try first. If you get rejected by all 29 other sites, maybe you can try this one, make a few dollars, but I'm just being realistic, it's beer money, right? Next up is Imprint, with no I. They're mostly known for wall art and canvases, again, so kind of like Displate for more artsy stuff rather than text-based designs. And the focus is art prints and posters, but they do sell some stationery as well. And if we sort by trending, do a quick bit of research to see what sells, and the stuff that sells best is really the artsy watercolor type stuff at the moment. They also do have a dedicated artist section, so you can see what other people have uploaded. You can find yourself in here if you contribute. They get 816k visits per month, pretty decent IG following, and they post very regularly on here on behalf of the artists on their platform, so lots of free traffic to be gained here. To start selling, go to imprint.com/application. You can get an account and then submit your artwork, and they say here they should get back to you in about 48 hours. Next is Contrado, so sells a lot of things, but they do specialize in fabric and accessories like textiles. That's mostly what they're known for to buyers from looking online. But what we're interested in is their artist marketplace, where you can sell your designs on products that customers can then browse. And these are the types of products that they offer in the apparel category. So you can see a pretty diverse range. Also, they sell homewares and accessories. And they do have different domain extensions. So the .com site is the most popular, gets 174k visits per month. But to be honest, while there is a marketplace and many people going there, from what I've read online, it does skew more towards sellers and people looking for fabric suppliers, so just keep that in mind. But the marketplace does exist. The .co.uk domain has a little less than 141k. On Instagram, their UK profile has the most followers. I mean, they only have a UK and a French profile. So to start selling, go to contrado.com, whichever domain you want to sell on, /sell art online, and you can open a store. You earn 20 to 25% of every sale. Next, we have pixels.com. I'm just baffled that somebody managed to register this domain, and it's a print-on-demand company of all things. Like, you'd think it's some kind of big tech company because the domain is just so clean, but there you go. So this is a standard website where you can upload your art and sell on home and living. It's mostly known for wall art, but they also do sell apparel. And a really cool thing is that you can also sell artwork and photographs as digital downloads on here. So that's definitely something to note if you're interested in digital products. Now, if we go to the artist section, there is some competition on here. Not as much as on places like Redbubble, but it does say millions of artists. So yeah, as you can see, mostly selling photography type designs. 1.2 million visits per month. I would have thought there would be more because the domain is so good, but maybe I'm overestimating the power of domains. But hey, still decent number of traffic. They do have a pretty big Instagram following. They post artist work here regularly, so another good source of free traffic that they provide you. And they are running Facebook ads as well. To start selling, go to pixels.com/sell-art-online and then sign up as artist/photographer. And with this, guys, I can guarantee you'll never be out of print-on-demand websites to sell on. If you've got issues with one of them, just move on to the next best one. But obviously, you can't sell on all of these, so if you want to see which one of these I think is the best, and it probably won't be the one that you expect, click on the video on screen right now, and I'll see you guys in the next video.